I'm just trying to figure it out. Helen Andrews, overcoming the feminization of culture. Are they making everyone gay? I don't know why I said that. I don't even know who this woman is. I've never heard of her. Shout out to Fat Rick Bateman. Popped it into the chat. So we're going to check it out right now. Let's go. National conservatism.
The libertarian economy.
That's the five head. I'm even joking. These are just jokes. You know, I'm a joker. You know, I don't know much, but I know jokes. That's a 5-piece, that one. Even the guy next to her, 6 head. I mean, they got big foreheads here.
Tyler Cowen once wrote a blog.
She's a whisperer. She's a whisperer. She's funny and enlightening. I like that. I like that. Let's grab this, grab that, pop it up to about there. Pop it out 100% like that. Speak to our sister. Speak.
Post describing all of the revolutions he's seen in the course of his lifetime, starting with the moon landing when he was a little boy and going up chronologically to today's advent of AI.
Yeah. And we recently had another moon landing. Artemis and that. Are they back now? Didn't it cut for a few seconds? Aliens.
There were only 7 revolutions on this list because this was
yes, they are back.
only the greatest
Good luck
and
to them,
most
man.
earth-shaking
Best of
ones.
luck.
And right there, between the fall of communism and the invention of the internet, was something called the Great Feminization.
Everyone turned into a woman. I remember that time. I remember it like it was yesterday.
That is not a phrase that a lot of Americans know,
Yeah,
but future
feminization.
historians may well rank it as having greater importance than almost
The guy on the left, his tie is great. It's a good tie.
any other revolution on that
I like
list.
that tie.
The Great
Guy on the right
Feminization is
wins,
very
though.
easy to define. It refers to the increasing representation of women in all of the institutions of our society.
Yes.
But as
Because there was a massive, I'm only joking, I wasn't around at that time. But even just through my lifetime, I was born in 88. Like, just seeing how many more women got into positions of power is like mad. And I'm not, I don't hate it. But, like, are we doing that because of the skill? Or are we doing it to fill a certain quota, or is this DEI, and is this, we got to do it because it's just because she's a woman? Are we doing that, And then years later, we start seeing the fruits of that work. And like Christ said, you will know them by their fruits. So now they're saying stuff like, men can get pregnant. So, but maybe it didn't work.
simple as it is
Maybe.
to define,
I don't know.
it's very difficult for those of us on the other side of that revolution to fully grasp its significance.
Yeah.
The first thing that most people fail to understand about it is how unprecedented it
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? I hope you can hear it, because I know through a stream it goes even lower. If so, I can just turn it up.
is
Like, no
in
problem.
human history. There have been
I'm gonna
many
turn it up anyway.
societies that have been feminist to one degree or another, in which
100%
women have
sound
been
good.
queens and owned
turn it up.
businesses and held positions of authority that commanded the respect of men.
Yeah.
But
Boss bitch. Boss girl. Boss lady. Boss woman.
there has
And all
never
that.
been a society
Karen, I think her name was Karen. God damn, that's too loud now. Look at me, I've mashed up the whole system. I've ruined it all, innit, guys? Everything's ruined now.
in which women hold as much political power as they do today.
Yeah.
Think of all of the parliaments
It's beautiful to see a woman doing this.
that have ever existed.
important that that
every
had to be that
legislature
way.
in every country and every century.
Yeah.
None of them has been, as ours is, 1/3 female.
That's mad.
The idea of a female chief of police would have seemed very strange even to many early feminists, and yet today the police department is led by a woman in the largest city in America and in the city in which
And just look. Came out 7 months ago.
we are now standing. Law schools today are majority female.
Hello.
Law firm associates are majority female. Medical schools are majority female. Women earn a majority of BAs and PhDs.
Where's all the men?
College faculty are majority female. Women are 46%
We're fucked by law, mate. True. I'm here vibrating.
Of the managers in the United States, and the white collar
What was the percent?
of the managers are majority female. Women are 46%.
46%. Some men are there like that. We still got the upper hand, at least in management. But not in law. And then the law lot go, by law, you must have more women than... No! Struck by lightning of the gods.
The managers in the United States, and the white collar workforce overall, workers with college degrees, a majority of...
Do you know when they say the white collars? They're the people that wear like white collars.
them.
And I always used to wonder that. I used to think, what do they mean by that? And then I figured it out. I had an epiphany. Oh yeah, they got white collars. Yeah. Legends. They're like legendary people.
These are, in many cases, very recent developments, with the tipping point having occurred only in the last 5 to 10 years. And that is the other common misconception about the great feminization. People tend to think of feminism as something
They got no dirt on them. Yeah, true. White collar. True,
back in the 1970s.
Get that dirt off my shoulder, off my collar.
But it took several decades to
Just like Chris Tucker.
go from token representation to approximate gender parity.
Yeah.
The first woman on the Supreme Court was appointed in 1981, and in that year, women were 5% of the judges in America. Today, there are, of course, 4 women on the court, 1 justice away from a female majority, and women are 30% of the judges in America, 40% of the judges in the state of California, and 63%.
So, like, for real, bro. Beyonce, when she said them lyrics, she was right, but she was a little bit wrong. It's like, who run the world? Girls. No, it's not that. Who run America? Girls. Yeah.
Of the judges appointed by President Joe Biden.
She was right.
So from the first woman on the court
but she was right.
to a likely female majority on the Supreme Court.
And the same's rolling out through Europe.
Is probably going to be a span of about 50 years.
Geezer on the bottom left, he's had enough. This guy here, he's had enough. Been hearing these bitches speak all fucking day. Fucking I've been listening to these bitches speak all fucking day. Even though this bitch is on his team. This particular bitch is on his team, but it's like, fuck me. What, and then I got to go home and listen to the missus. Fuck, I got a headache.
And the exact same trajectory.
Let me send you a picture of me touching myself, thinking of you. Is that guy? What?
Over the same timeline.
Send it.
And can be seen in many other professions. There was a pioneering...
Bring it, I'll put it on the stream and I'll review it.
...generation in the 1970s where
Didn't do right.
a woman was often the only female reporter in her...
You know what, actually, I think I might have seen this woman. The more I'm looking at her, the more I feel like she looks familiar.
...newsroom, or the only female professor in her department. And then increasing female representation through the 80s and 90s until a healthy female representation of about 20 to 30% by the turn of the century. And today, 25 years later, in many of these fields, they are now 40% female or 50-50 gender equal. And the pendulum may not be done swinging yet. As feminized as we are, we may get more feminized still. Look at the...
It's enough. It's enough. Stop. Stop, please. There's innocent children here. Women are like, no. What? Men running for the hills. Run, boys, run with your kids. Run. Save the boys. Running for the hills and shit. Women are coming with spears and that. Get them. We will fucking harvest them testicles. I don't know what they do. Something like that.
Of the profession of psychology.
As running for their lives.
25 years ago, psychology...
Spears to the shoulder. Dave, hate me, I got a fucking spear on my shoulder. While running, Dave is pulling out a spear from, Spencer's shoulder. Fucking, my son, I've dropped my son. Your son? Never. Tomorrow we ride. And the men ride. But they got no weapons. They've just got, rocks. rocks and sticks. Women's have got like machine guns, like nukes.
It was a predominantly
They got
male
nukes.
profession, up to 70% male. Today, the
Galloping in
youngest
the wind.
cohort of psychologists just joining the profession,
Women.
20% male. Men have evacuated.
Yeah, they've done that. They've seen it for 5 minutes. They've gone. I'm becoming a mechanic. Forget this.
The profession of psychology. And it's
Get
easy
out
to
of here. Where, you know, then he goes home and he goes, where's a place women would never work? The building sector. Oh, fuck it, I'll go there.
understand why. It's because psychology has become feminized. As women
And then you see like a geezer called Tony, spelt with an I, who you got to identify as a woman. No, that's a woman. No, but that's a man. That's a man. I can see his penis there. He's building a wall. No, he identifies as a woman now. Fuck this.
increased their
Fuck this.
representation in the
Stop, I wanna get
profession, they reoriented the field to be more friendly to their ideas and preferences, to be about caring and empathy and non-judgmentalism. So a man who wanted to become a psychologist because he liked judging other people would naturally choose a different profession. The same thing has occurred in literary fiction. Some of you may have read in the last 12 months one of
Loads of
several
gay
articles
books.
in the New York Times about how
No, there's been like an influx of gay books and like gay agendas and like weird agendas throughout all of our media.
men don't read
There's
novels
gay stories
anymore.
and that.
And the explanation
gay.
why, which is very obvious to me, even if it's not obvious to the New York Times, is that the publishing industry is overwhelmingly female, almost 80% female. So men do still like to read novels.
J.R.R. Tolkien was a woman.
They just don't like to read the kinds of novels that today's publishing industry produces. Some fields are more susceptible to feminization than others. There's very little you can do to feminize the
Education.
field of math or engineering. But as women join a field in greater numbers, we should
take over.
expect that any field that can be feminized
It will
will
be.
be. And
Yeah.
the dynamic
Get these bitches in. We got bitches queuing up. Get these bitches in. You a white man? Get the fuck out of here, white man. You a problem. You a devil. Get the fuck out of here. Too many white people in this office. There's too many white people in this office. White men. There's too many white men in this office. Get them out. Bring the girls in. And they're all men. Hi, I'm Stephen. Hi, I'm fucking, Derek. Fucking hell, what's wrong with you? You're all weird. You're weird. Then the company collapses. Don't know why. There's a suspicion, but I don't know why for sure.
will play out exactly as it has in psychology.
Couple of factors.
It may be that a 50-50 gender split is not a stable equilibrium.
It's not.
I have referred several times so far
It's
to
not.
feminization without defining
Let's go. Let's try something different. Let's go 75 men, 25 women. We're going to find a perfect number eventually where we balance the society all flourishes, idealistically. But yeah, let's try it. Let's go for 80% men, 20% women. Let's see how that goes. If not, we'll try, other things. We'll try other stuff.
what that means.
Different
I'll have
tactics.
a lot to say
There's
about
always
it
a
in
way.
just a moment. But if you want to put it
We got them maths, though. Maths, bro. Make sure you spell it right. Maths.
in a single sentence, you could say
If you're American, math.
that
Math without the S.
feminization
I don't know what
equals
that is.
wokeness.
If you're American, aluminum. Huh? What the hell's that? You mean aluminium? No, aluminum.
Every
You're not speaking English? Nah, it's American. Oh.
Everything you think of as wokeness is simply an epiphenomenon of
aluminum, guys.
demographic feminization.
Yeah.
Think about all the things that wokeness means.
Yeah. And you
value-
remember, I was speaking to this about my little brother. You remember, they've literally hijacked the word woke. Woke used to be for the, you're aware. You're aware of stuff. I'm woke to the bullshittery. And then they hijacked that. Now to be called woke is the opposite. If you're woke, you're fast asleep.
Empathy over rationality, safety over
man.
risk, conformity and cohesion over
Cohesion.
competition and hierarchy. All of these things are privileging the feminine over the masculine.
No, you
So
got to
if
do
you
it
have
via
ever
skill.
wondered why wokeness appeared out of nowhere when it did, that is my hypothesis, that all of
Women pushed for that. Ah, she's
the
right.
institutions that began admitting women in the 1970s eventually got enough women that they
Fat
were able
cats.
to reorient them.
All the fat cats.
For
All the
example,
fat cat
women
women.
are consistently
Right. They were sitting in their place for many years since the 70s, going, you know what, ladies? It's time. I'm going to exercise my power. And they've done it, look, and this is where they're taking us.
less supportive of free
Huh?
speech than men. In surveys asking which is more important, protecting free speech or preserving an inclusive society, approximately two-thirds
That's a deadly question.
of men say free speech, and approximately
100%
two-thirds of
free
women
speech.
say inclusive society. In
So they'd be willing to give up their free speech to have an inclusive society. It's literally what they're saying.
moral reasoning,
Sad, man.
the traditional
Sad.
way
It's like it seems like women want to drive everything to the ground again, like make us all start again, like, you know, like as if they can do it their way. Like, yeah, all right, we're gonna do it our way, and the men are like, all right, fuck it, go and do it, and then they just drive us right into the ground. And then who comes to pick up the pieces? Obviously the men, bro. Come, we lift back up society, and then we say to them, shut up, bitch, get in the kitchen and make that sandwich, because you remember why? You remember what you's done? You remember? You had our boys confused saying that they were girls. You remember? No, you ain't doing shit. Make me a sandwich and shut the fuck up. It's going to lead to that.
of phrasing the difference
Shut the fuck up,
between
bitch.
men and women is to say that women have an ethics of caring and men
Yeah.
have an ethics
An ethics of Karen.
of justice.
True.
In making a moral judgment,
True.
men will ask, what are the
Yeah, their words are their weapons. That's all they can, you know. But they're the ones that get hurt. They're the ones that get hurt by words.
rules and what are the facts?
They get damaged by it. They like take HP damage, fatigue damage, and that. Oh, life minus 10 HP. When you say to them, "What's a man?"
Women tend to be more interested in context
Or men have penises, stuff like that. Or even just saying penis, they'll go, they take damage, health damage.
and
What's wrong with them?
relationships.
What's wrong with them?
So
It's a
let's
sickness, that's what it
apply
is.
that to wokeness. When James Damore wrote his famous, or I should say notorious memo for Google, arguing that female underrepresentation in the hard sciences might not be the result of bias and prejudice, no one even attempted to argue that he was wrong on the facts. The
Yeah.
reason that he was fired was because the things he had written might make his female coworkers feel bad.
Not the feelings. Don't use hurty words. Because my feelings are affected. You know, John's looking at her going, Karen, the company is sinking, but my feelings are affected. I'm going to call my sister-in-law a judge, supreme judge of the world. We're changing the law. A man done it. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a sick bitches. What I blame is like probably one guy. Probably they all had that one guy, you know, that fucked them up good and proper, like mentally, ruined them mentally. And then that one guy has now made them hate all men. And now we like get shrapnel damage, you know, from that. Off the cuff, because these bitches sadly didn't know that there's other men, you know, there's varieties of men, all different styles and classes and colours and sizes and, you know, personalities. There's so many different ones. It's an amazing world out there, but they don't realize that. They think because of that one man that ruined my heart, you know, that, you know, fucking ripped out my, you know, black soul or whatever the fuck happened to him. You know, they think that every man is like that man. Sick in the head. Or the other one is their dad. Their dad ruined them in some way. Or, you know, not being there for them. Something like that, man. Like daddy issues. Or it's either daddy issues or a man, you know, a boyfriend or a husband or something sort of ruined them. And then now they blame every man. That's literally what these are. These
Or consider the Kavanaugh hearings. The masculine
really.
position was to say that
Like, you got to say to him, love, love, while she's going, like the Karen, for example. I feel offended. You've offended me. Hurty words. When she go, you just go, shh, 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 Karen, shh, 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 be quiet, Karen. 1 second, 1 second. Let me just say something. It's going to be all right, Karen. And then you just give her a big hug. And then she's going to be fighting you to get off. And you just go, no, Karen, we're going to, I love you, Karen. It's okay. It's going to be fine. And after all that, she's going to go, ruining like your suit shoulder. You're ruining my shit. But you don't want to remove. You know that one that it's all right, Karen. So she's like, you're 100% right. And then they become advocates like this woman who are totally against it. We need men. That's what they need. They need a long, solid hug.
maybe something bad happened to you, but if you
100% something bad happened. We're connected.
do not have evidence, then we can't allow you to ruin a man's life and career.
It's emotional logic because they have some emotions to deal with. Exactly. Biology backs that up too. They have a brain stem that carries more emotional input to the brain, apparently. But they're emotional creatures then, isn't it? That's what they are. And clearly you could see that in human history. Like even you know, from a male's perspective, every man that's had a relationship with a female, which is, you know, the majority of humanity, every majority of males have had a relationship with a female, you know that they're way more emotional. You know they're like fucking weird creatures. You know what I mean? There's got to like do certain things and that. It's a tactic and that. Fuck, man. Everyone knows that. So like, you know, they're like very feely, and you can't have someone like that in a position where, you know, they're perceiving power, where they perceive that they have control of something. Because what they're gonna do is just ruin everything due to their feeling. Don't ever give a woman the nuclear button access and all that, the key or whatever. Don't give them none of that, because it will just take one night. It will take one bad text. It will take you missing one thing. You know, you forgot to mention the anniversary. Fuck knows. She'll press that button. She'll nuke you. You'll get nuked. Everyone dies then. Then will you pay for your mistake? Don't give them the key, please, man. Otherwise, we're fucked, man. Like, we'll be really fucked. You know, if there is the end of the world and humanity destroys itself, I would wager, I'll put my left testicle, the elongated testicle, I'll put that on the line that a woman would have done that. Like, a woman will be the one to destroy the world. That's just what I think.
Right. The feminine
Go on, Karens, tear out your eyeballs and scream. Go on, do it. I love it. It's music to my ears. La 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 la. Ho 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 ho.
position was to say,
I mean, ho 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 ho.
how can you talk about rules of evidence? Can't you see she's crying? Now, to
She's right.
be clear, many women were revolted by the way the Kavanaugh hearings played out. In fact, the very best
Yeah, my mum nuked my ass too when I was a kid with the wooden spoon. That's the way you're meant to get it, with the wooden spoon, mate. Wooden spoon tactics or rolling pin, mate. Get rolling pin action, mate. You hear that draw?
book on the Kavanaugh hearings.
The draw gets pulled out so hard that all the other cutlery, like, and all the other, you know, cutlery, it slams against the. You hear the wooden plate and the wooden spoon. Run to the toilet and lock yourself in there.
Was written by two women, Molly Helen and Carrie Severino. But a political system in which men predominate will tend to operate according to rules of facts and objectivity.
Yeah, which then helps everyone. Do you see that? Do you get it? Do you see it? Do you understand? Do you get it? It helps everyone when it's like facts and that. It's not only men benefit. No, everyone benefits. We flourish. I'm sure that these boss bitches started spawning when they started seeing, or they perceived men as more free compared to them. I think that's where it started from, something like that. They would have seen men working and, you know, getting busy with it, working, and they're with their pals, maybe having fun, because, you know, why work in misery? And they're working in fun, you know, there's a brotherhood, you know, sort of feeling that a woman doesn't have with another woman. Women don't have the vibe that men have. Like, we have a brotherhood vibe. You could just meet another man in the street, if you, and suddenly your friends, if you notice he's holding something that you like, or he's wearing a football shirt that you support, or he just bought a PS5, you would celebrate with him. Go, yeah, you know what I mean? But women is not like that. They'll do it to their face, and then they'll snake each other behind, you know what I mean? They're like really fucking weird creatures. But I think women have seen what's the word? Camaraderie. Camaraderie. That anyway. They see the brotherhood of men and they yearn for that somehow. So they come and they ruined it, like by thinking that they could gain it by doing what men do. Bitch, you're sick.
And one in which women predominate will tend to operate by the rules of emotions and subjective
feelings.
facts.
Yeah. Well, my feelings are hurt, so you're sacked. Huh? But everything I've done was right. Nah, still, my feelings are hurt. You're fired. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that that's not how it should be done.
Even if there are...
Or, yeah, we'll hire you because you're a woman. We've got too many white men in here. Like, we need you, woman. Get in. No, you haven't got the skill. You're lacking the skill. In fact, you're going to sink the company if I let you in. Sorry, love, you can't come in. You ain't got the skill. It's a skill issue, not sex issue or whatever.
Individual men and
Get the
women
fuck out
who
of
fall
here,
on the
Get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
opposite side of those camps.
Is that what they want? I don't know, bro.
There's a lot more that could be said about sex differences and wokeness, but I'll skip ahead to the controversial part of my argument.
Instant fan.
Because believe
fan.
it or not, nothing I've said so far has been particularly controversial. So far, I have only made two claims. One, men and women are different.
Whoa. Paradigm shifting. All the Karens around the world are like that. No, she's going to reveal the secret.
And two, as institutions become more female, they change in predictable ways according to those differences. I think even most people on the left would agree with that.
Every human, I would say, would agree with that. I mean, come on, please.
Feminization is a great example of what Michael Anton calls the celebration parallax, which is a fancy term for anything where you're only allowed to notice something if you think it's a good thing.
That's good. What is that called?
What Michael Anton calls the celebration parallax.
The celebration parallax. I need to use that more because that's actually so true, bro. So true. Only notice it if it's good. If it's negative, don't even bring it up. Are they raping kids over there? Don't even bring it up. This certain group of minority are clearly doing more crimes and committing more murders and all that. But we're not going to look at it because it doesn't shine in a good light. Shows who you are, you bitch. Get the fuck out of it, Karen. Don't even make me a sandwich. You'll probably poison it, you fucker. Put her in jail.
Which is a fancy
Give me 1 sec.
term for anything where you're only allowed to notice something if you think it's a good thing. There are literally thousands of articles out there saying it's great that we have more women judges now because women are more empathetic, or it's good to have more women on corporate boards because that'll make capitalism more humane. It is only when you say women are fundamentally changing the bedrock institutions of our society, and that might be bad, that you start to get into trouble. But I have two actually contentious claims today, and that is the first of them, that feminization is not just an interesting new development that has had some pluses and minuses. It's that feminization, in the case of many important institutions, is a bad thing. In a few cases, it is so bad as to be, to threaten the end of civilization. The rule of law, for example, is a very important thing. It's also very fragile. It requires a deep commitment to objectivity and clear rules, even when those rules yield an outcome that is not nice. I do not want judges who are more interested in context and relationships than in what the law says. Academia is the one part of our society that's supposed to be about finding and transmitting the truth. If it instead becomes about censoring ideas that are dangerous or threatening, then it no longer serves its purpose. In business, if the only way to advance at your company is to behave in the most HR-compliant way possible, that's going to exclude and discourage the very people who are most likely to be leaders and innovators. I happen to think that the most important political issue in America today right now is immigration. And that is a perfect example of a political issue where the elite consensus is highly feminized. We have all of these laws on the books about citizenship and borders, but we're not allowed to enforce any of them if it might make somebody sad. So
yeah, all of that.
The rule of law, pursuit of truth,
stop all of that.
Political issue in America today.
I heard it. I was hearing.
In business, if the only way to advance at your company is to behave in the most HR compliant way possible, that's going to exclude and discourage the very people who are most likely to be leaders and innovators.
Yeah.
I happen to think that the most important political issue in America today right now is immigration. And that is a perfect example of a political issue where the elite consensus is highly feminized. We have all of these laws on the books about citizenship and borders, but we're not allowed to enforce any of them if it might make somebody sad. So rule of law, pursuit of truth, borders, innovation. Without these things, I am not being hyperbolic when I say that a thoroughly feminized civilization will set itself on the road to collapse.
You'll be doomed. We'll be doomed. And you know what, bro? Real women, all the real women out there that are like real women, they agree as well with what I'm saying, with what she's saying. They agree with this. They say, nah, I don't want it. Because even women can't tolerate other women.
So that is the first claim, that feminization is in many cases a bad and a threatening thing. The second claim proceeds from a question, and it's a very important question. Can we have demographic feminization in the literal sense without having substantive feminization of the kind that I believe is so dangerous? That is, can we have more female lawyers and judges and academics without having, or while still maintaining the old standards?
Yeah, well, you would have to have an unwavering, aim at truth. That would have to be it. It would be only the truth that is what you're seeking, not these other side bits, not none of the feelings and all that. All that's got to be left behind, because we're dealing with the law and truth. That's what's got to be, doggedly chased. Is that is always got to be on the front of the agenda, not these feelings or these context or whatever you want to say, or how did he feel, all of that. No, cut that out. Giza broke the law. It's against the law to do that. He's got to go jail, whatever, Just do it.
Because in theory,
do it the right way. None of these feelings shit. Because then there is repercussions.
Of course, you can imagine such a thing. There certainly are enough women. There certainly are many.
What does the law say over judgments? What does the law say over judgments made relative to context of relationships?
Many women who have the talent and the inclination to meet the old standards. There are many women who are excellent judges. I know many female journalists who are just as hard-nosed and uncompromising as any of their male peers. There definitely are such women.
They're the real ones. They're the real ones that I'm talking about.
But I am not sure that there are enough of them.
Yeah.
Because the question is not, can some women be excellent professors? The question is it possible to have an academia that is majority female and is still as committed to and still respects the unhindered pursuit?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
Of unpopular truths as much as the old predominantly male academia did. I believe the answer is no. I believe demographic feminization does.
Because women are deadly. Like, women amongst themselves are deadly with each other. You know what I mean? Behind their backs and, so imagine a world like that.
Inevitable.
The only way that would happen, men would just go. I don't know, we'll go somewhere. We'll just have to go, fact that. Because we won't be able to bear it. We won't be able to bear all that's been built being torn down, literally before our eyes, over feelings or something so that doesn't matter, like chaff in the wind, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter really in the core of things. You just ruined everything that we've, spent our lives building. Men will have to do runners. We'll go Mars or something. I don't know, bro. Come on, hurry up, Elon.
Lead to substantive feminization. It is a difficult thing to confront, but I genuinely believe it to be true.
She's a legend.
So what does
this
that
woman.
imply?
It had
What
to
should
be
we
a
do
woman to
about
say
it?
this.
I hasten to make clear that I do not propose to ban women from any field or even to discourage them from pursuing their goals as far as their talents and ambitions will take them. I don't think we have to do anything as
No.
crazy as that.
No,
The
she's right.
only thing
Should
that
be
I
balanced.
propose, and I think all that is necessary to solve the problem, is to take our thumb off the scale. Because right now, in ways that many people don't quite appreciate, there is a thumb on the scale in favor of women.
Yeah.
The most
Facts.
important example, of course, is anti-discrimination law. It is illegal to have too few women employed at your company. If women are statistically underrepresented
It's illegal.
in your
What?
institution,
Is there like men one of that?
that is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
So what about the other way around? If you have an all-women business, it should be illegal, right? Because you've got to have a certain amount of men, right? It's not only one way, right? It's not only for the women that have that, like it's illegal if there's not enough women. It surely is the other way as well, right? Surely.
Companies and
We live in a democracy where it's all about justice, right? Surely that's what it is.
institutions give jobs to women that they would not otherwise have gotten, give women promotions that they would not have otherwise gotten.
Yeah,
and
no,
in a
fuck
pinch
that. I hate that sort of shit. I hate DEI. I hate this favouring people just because you got a quota to hit. I fucking hate that shit because us, the people, we fucking pay, or the consumer, he pays, or whatever line of business that they're doing, and whatever product they're, selling, and we are consuming. It's a shit fucking product because of the shit way it's done. Like, that person is not fucking qualified to be in that position, bro. It's not because there's so many white guys or there's so many men that get rid of the men who actually have the skill and then just fill it with like, randoms and shit, mostly bitches and that, they, thems and all that. That ain't got the skill, bro. Fuck that. I hate that shit, bro.
they create jobs that did not need
I left the link for Danny's. I did see it. Scott, yeah? I see you, brother. I see you. Bell boy. I appreciate you. See, now it's letting me know people are following me. Let's go.
to exist, involving
I appreciate
PowerPoint
that, but I got it
slides,
on there.
just to get their numbers up. This is why HR departments exist.
Yeah.
And
Don't do all of that, the numbers and all that. Let's scrap that. Let's scrap that then. Let's scrap that. You've got to have a certain amount of women, or you've got to have a certain amount of whatever in your business and that. Now, let's scrap that. Let's go for skills and that. Let's do that, bro. Let's just try that. Let's go back to that, I guess. If you've got the qualifications and you've got the skill for the job, you're hired. Oh, you're green? Doesn't matter. You're a green woman? Doesn't matter. You identify as a frog? I don't care what you identify as, man. You got the skill. You're hired. But we're not doing that sort of shit like you're going into offices, you're seeing too many men, or you're seeing too many, particularly white men, because white men are under threat right now. They're getting constantly attacked with it seems like no repercussion. White men are just fodder, which is bullshit. It's like complete racism. But yeah, they're going into offices, they go, too many white men in here, get them out, bring in the DEI lot. But they haven't got the skill, sir. Nah, who cares? Bring them in. I mean, ma'am, a sir would never say that. Yeah.
why they promote gender diversity so assiduously, not because they're ideologues, although they are, obviously, but because they are protecting their company from lawsuits. Anti-discrimination
That's all it is, bruv. If the guy had the choice, he wouldn't hire a woman
law also
in certain fields.
mandates that the culture of
It's just like, when you take a kid to nursery. I haven't got any kids, but I imagine, when you go take your kids to nursery, I would like it to be like a group of women that I'm handing it over to. I'm handing my child over to, women. I don't want to see a group of men there in a nursery and that. I'm handing my kid over. I want to see a woman and that. That's what I want to see there.
every workplace
fields,
be
you know what I mean?
feminized. Because if the atmosphere of your workplace
woman, there's no doubt woman has much more empathy than man.
is too brash or competitive or combative, that is also a lawsuit waiting to happen because it is an indication that your workplace is
So they
not
put laws on
sufficiently welcoming to women.
Yeah.
That is why
That's
HR
mad. I hope it's the other way around, bro. I hope that law is the other way around.
departments are so
really
zealous
do.
about policing
I'm not hopeful,
every
though.
interaction and every communication and making sure none of it has any rough edges.
It's a man's world, I guess.
So that's agenda item number 1. Get rid of all the HR ladies.
Yeah, facts, man. Get rid of all the Karens. The crowd is going wild. Look at them. They're taking off their shirts.
Who's with me?
Yeah.
Just fire them.
We'll just fire
And then
them.
we'll see how it shakes out. If your company
Just
has
fire
too
'em. And if they say, why did you fire me? It's a skill issue, love. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You just haven't got the skill. Get rid.
few women, that might indicate that you have a problem with your recruiting pipeline. On the other hand, it might not. Either way, we're not going to send a team of lawyers after you to second guess you.
Yeah.
It's funny, HR departments are always so careful about making sure the atmosphere at the workplace is welcoming to women.
Bro.
I wonder if they ever considered
Madness.
that maybe their soggy, conflict-averse, nicey-nice atmosphere might not be welcoming to men.
Facts, bro. See, they don't think about these things though, because they think, I don't know what they think, bro, but it seems like they think men don't have feelings, or men don't, deal with the same things as them. I don't know what, like we don't care. No, bro, of course we do, and you're gonna see it in the work. They're so bad.
The other thumb
that's
on the
like, for me, that's like extremely bad. Bro.
Scale, obviously, is the two-income trap. Women pursue careers because they have to for their families to attain a middle-class standard of living. If we address that through various other policies to make it possible for families that want to have one earner to do so, I think the problem of feminization will subside on its own as individuals make different choices based
Facts.
on what's best for their own families.
She's
That's just my
right, man.
prediction. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's get rid of the two-income trap and give people the choice, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
In conclusion, feminization is a sensitive topic. I am acutely aware of the sensitivities because
too
I am,
much,
of
man.
course, myself a woman. I very much enjoy being a writer, and I would never want to discourage another woman from pursuing the path that I have followed.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I am also someone with a lot of disagreeable opinions. So if society becomes more conformist and less welcoming to ideas that are controversial or unpopular, I'm also
Yeah.
going to have a hard time of it.
Yeah.
The important thing to remember is that it's not about what's best for me personally. It's about what's best for the society I live in.
That's what
and
it's
the
about,
society my children are going to grow up in.
Yeah.
So my final exhortation to all of you is that we should all consider this difficult topic unselfishly, not from the
Facts, and let's not make it taboo. Let's not make it like, oh, walk around eggshells when we're talking about feminization and all of that. No, we talk about it out loud on the mountaintop, screaming it at the top of our voice. We do it like that. Speak it with your chest, man, because it's what it is. It's just what it is, bro.
perspective.
Like, because the more it's like, the more they dominate in their power and continuously bring us down to our demise. We can see it, bro. We can see it. But, I'm not advocating for a world only run by men. I'm advocating for a world where it's balanced, like correctly. You know what I mean? Not exactly 50-50. No, because that clearly is not working. Balance it in certain ways where the qualities of men, they take the quality, them positions, and the qualities of women, they take their certain positions. You know what I mean? And society will flourish, man. We'll just do better. We can do better. 100% we can do better, but this whole battling, women gonna battle the men, and nah, bitch, we need each other. Like, it's a team. This is a team effort. I don't know. For some reason, I get the feeling that women are feeling like, I don't know why it is. Like, the men are working for the women as well. Like, that's why the men are doing the work. It's not the men are doing it for themselves. No, the men are doing it for women, children, for society, for better life. That's the reason we're doing it. If we do it like that from our heart, then how can it fail? How can it fail? When it becomes like greedy and you want to like, I don't know what it is, what they want, like power or superiority over men or vice versa, whatever. It's not about that. The number one pursuit should be the betterment. Let's make it better. What's the issue? All right, cool. Let's work together, make it better. And then once that issue's done, move on to the next issue, bro. And then just fix things. Fix it. And then when you look back, you go, look, we fixed that. Look at that, lovely. And then our kids will look back and go, for them, they'll take granted, as we take for granted as well, for those that died in the wars and all that. But you do realise that you go, look what they done for us, man. We've got all this free. We could speak this freedom of speech and all that. Got to keep doing that. Get better. This ain't peak, man. This is not peak. Like 100% it's not peak. It's like the WNBA plays half the game and the NBA plays And the NBA play, half the games the NBA plays. Sorry, I can't read today, sorry. So like, I know what you mean. So the WNBA plays half the games that the NBA plays, and the women are crying that they should be getting the same pay. Yeah, you know, I've spoke about that so many times. Like, that is, it's so bullshit. Like, again, it's a skill issue. Again, you're not pulling in the crowds, ladies. That's sadly what it is. I want them to do good. Do good, WNBA. You know, do good female football. Like, do good female sports. I want them to win. But I got two things. One, it's got to be women. So you can't have men, you know, identifying as women and going there and just smashing all their records. We're not having that no more. And two, you know, get the crowd. Get the crowd. WNBA is subsidized by the NBA. They're paying the majority of their fees and licenses. They're not pulling in the crowd. I don't know none of my homies that I like, but I can't wait for that female football match. I can't wait to see, you know, Australia women versus England women in the cricket. I've never heard no one say that. I've never heard that. At most, bro, I've heard, oh, I can't wait to see, you know, that chick fight that chick in that UFC game. Yeah. You see that, like that Ronda. I remember Ronda was quite high. Tennis, yeah. But, you know, there's, you know, not like football and that. If you're American, soccer. But yeah, not football and that. It's like the best sport in the world, man. That's like the best sport in the world. You have to be peak level. And like, we ain't doing none of that DEI bullshit. You ain't good enough. You ain't getting a wage, bro. And also, another thing, sorry, I'm ranting. They need to pay 15-year-old boys who smash these professional women's teams. They need to get a wage because them women are learning off them little boys. They're actually training from them little boys. So pay them boys. Pay them, man. They're 15 years old. Who cares? They're in school. Pay them a big wage as well. They need a wage, bro. Balancing something that doesn't mean 50-50 either. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. That's the idea of a simpleton. Have you ever seen that guy who balances stacks, random chairs? Yeah, like yeah. And you know what I mean, though. You know exactly what I mean. It's not like, I don't mean it in a 50-50 way. I mean it like, let's balance it out where it's, you know, in balance and harmony and tranquility, bro. In that sense. Women in early education is good. Women in hospital care is good too. Yeah, bro. In even in education as well. Like, doesn't, you know, not only early, but especially early, like nursery, nurses, like doctors and that, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Lunch ladies. You know, I'm joking. But yeah, there's like things that they like naturally have a skill. They have a skill for. Senior care, all of that. Yeah, you need women there. Yeah, mental health care, like therapy, stuff like that. There's loads of stuff. But law enforcement, yeah, law, math, science, that should be mostly men. 100%, bro. Engineering, all of that is mostly men. It's because it's what we do. That's what we're doing. And do you know what's so sad about all of this, yeah? All of this is making like a young man feel not needed. Do you know what's extremely important for society? The men have to feel like they're needed because that's natural for a man. A man has to feel like he's bringing something to the table. That's just how we are. That's just how we are. Can't hand us nothing in a thing. I've got to feel like I'm earning it. I've got to feel like, and I'm earning it for my family. There's got to be that. And you know, the family got to, you know, they got to know that too. It's like, yeah, like, you know, our dad is going out to work and he makes our money for us. And, you know, our dad's bringing home the food. And that's important to a man. Once you start stripping that away and the women are going, no, we're taking the man's role, then the man's going to go, oh, you know what, fuck it, I ain't even going out. That's what's happening to a lot of young men. They're not even going out into society. They're going, fuck all that. Women have got it. They're going, what? Why? What for? To be ridiculed? Why? What am I going to go out for? Fuck that. I'd rather stay in. That's what sadly happens. You know? I think there should be a separate therapy. Example, psychology. Psychology for men, from men. Yeah, 100%. That's a choice. There hardly is any male psychologists. You can't find one easily. There used to be more, but again, it's this influx, man. My dad was a psychologist. But yeah, it's the influx of this whole womanization, feminization stuff that you see in mostly women like do that
of
role.
What's to our individual advantage, but from the perspective of what's best for all of us.
Yeah, that's all we ask. That was a great video. That's a brilliant video. I've never heard of this channel. You know, I feel like she's familiar. The more she spoke, she's familiar, but I'm not really familiar with her name. That was a great video, though. Shout out to Fat Rick Bateman for the video recommendation. I'll pop it in the description when the time comes. You're my therapist now. And you are mine. This is how this works. It's a symbiotic relationship. Believe you me. I do this as therapy almost. It's almost therapeutic. Thanks for watching. That was a fantastic talk. It was great, man. Great video. Great video, and it highlights a lot of things. I can't believe I didn't really see it. But the more I watch that woman, the more I feel like I have seen her speak somewhere before. Give me 1 minute. Let me quickly grab a drink. Just going to look for something to play. What shall I play? I don't know. That. Give me 1 sec.